world. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. That helps me help the channel and lets you know when I'm live, I'm posting, and when you can catch up with me and where you can catch up with me at all times. Okay? So, good morning. Oh, hola, bonjour. um, be sure to come on in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. As you can see from the title, we have a few topics to go over. And this is very impromptu, but I want to start off my live. I want to get better with my lives and improve the quality of them. And I keep saying, I want to talk about this, I want to talk about this. So what better way to come on here and talk about things, okay? So I am cooking this morning as we continue to strive for greatness today. Be sure to, put you first and make sure that you make the best decisions out of all things, okay? So, come on in. I'm going to be cooking. But let's talk about Kenya Moore. We have Sugar on the Beat in the background. So, you will be hearing some music. But y'all, so I want to get into the Kenya Moore of it all. So I'm pretty sure all of you all know Kenya Moore from the Real Housewives of Atlanta over on Bravo. But if you do not know who she is, I would say go check out the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And she was she was Miss USA of 1993, I want to say. So yeah, she is, a beautiful woman. She has done well for herself, but over the past few weeks, she been a trending topic, and I'm just like, what better way for me to put my little 2 cents in there than to just talk about it on my channel? So in my opinion, of everything that's going on, for those of y'all that don't watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, what's going on with Kenya is recently she was called out for exposing one of her castmates at her event. And she did this by showing a very explicit video of her castmate, doing the super head, type ordeal. So it's not funny. It's not funny, okay? Because it's not funny, but it's just crazy to me that she thought that she could actually get away with something like this. But also, too, to give reference to why she did it was because in the new season of Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, there's a castmate of her named Britt Edie. And Britt ultimately, she was coming for Kenya. She was coming for Kenya. Thank you so much. Thank y'all so much. Good morning, everybody. Be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And ultimately, Kenya is one of those people, if you do watch the show, that, she tells you, don't come for me unless I send for you, okay? So, Britt was ultimately feeling some type of way because in the beginning of the season, when she met Kenya had asked her a question about her ring or something. And Kenya was ultimately like, oh, is this your second ring? And Britt took offense because she was like, okay, that was a little snooty, you know what I'm saying? Like, girl, I only been married one time, but my man got the coin so he can buy me, however many rings he wants to. I might get a third one, you know what I'm saying? That's Britt attitude, you know what I'm saying? So Britt, didn't take too kind of that, which, in my opinion, when Kenya asked it, it was like Kenya was being Kenya, you know what I'm saying? Like, thank you so much. Thank y'all so much. Be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I don't, y'all. I do not. But I live in a beautiful state of Washington. But if I was close, trust me, I would slay all y'all, okay? But so ultimately, Kenya, it's like Kenya being Kenya. Y'all know, Kenya throws little fun shade, you know what I'm saying? I didn't take it as nothing, as did, I'm seeing mixed opinions online, as did a lot of people was like, okay, Kenya won she wasn't doing what she could do. You know what I'm saying? What we know her to do, which is what she did, and which is why we're talking about her now. So, you know, so Britt took offense to that. And when Britt took offense to that, it just kind of went from there. It just kind of went downhill. She felt like every time she had a conversation with Kenya, you know, it was snooty, it was snide, you know. She just didn't feel like Kenya was being her authentic self. Hey, y'all. Hey, Nails by door. So, you know, that led to them, you know, having tension there. So, fast forward to today while we talking about her. And, you know, the reason why Kenya is just hot in these streets, you know what I'm saying, is because of the explicit photo that she showed in her grand opening of her hair salon. And my whole thing is, if that's what you're gonna do, you could have done it, you know. For one, I don't condone any of this. Let's be clear. I don't condone it. Happy Friday. Girl, yeah, come on over, girl. Come on over. Yes, girl. So, you know, when that happened, ultimately, Kenya was like, you know, Kenya feels like she's vindicated, and she feels all of these things about what she did in her grand opening, and she feels like she's justified because she feels like homegirl Britt poked the bear. But my whole thing is, I'm learning this in my season too, like, you don't have to react a certain way. You can get your point across, you know what I'm saying, much more respectfully. Or even if you want to, you know, get a little jab in there, a little get back, you know what I'm saying, then I feel like she could have did it a whole different way. You know what I'm saying? Like, call your good girlfriend, you know what I'm saying, talk to your sister or something if you got a sister. But I don't think Kenya got no close, like, got no siblings that she's close with. Or if she, I can't remember if she had siblings or not. But what I do know is Kenya has a habit of going too far. And this time, girl, you just went too far. You should not have showed that girl giving sloppy toppy at your event. You messed it up for yourself, and you messed up the bag. And it's just like, it made me think even further into things, because it's like, girl, are they can they strip your title from you even if you did win Miss USA in 1993 for doing something like this? Like, I don't know if they can, but it's just like, I'm just thinking ahead, like, for you. And, you know, she just came out with the book for her daughter. Her name's Brooklyn, I believe. And it's just like, girl, you doing big things. Like, God blessing you so much, and the only thing you worried about is revenge. And revenge P at that. Like, you cannot do that and then be talking about some, well, I feel vindicated because, you know, she threatened me with the gun, and, you know, excuse me, she threatened me with the pow pow. And it's like, girl, no, it don't work like that. Like, no. However, now, here's how I feel about Bravo. And, you know, people got mixed feelings about Kenya, their whole situation. Some people is like, well, you know, you can't tell people how far to go. Actually, you can. Actually, you can tell people how far to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the whole thing. You really can. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, yes, they nice and brown. So the fact that, you know, all of this is going on and you still can't sit you down and see what you did wrong, like, girl, no. Like, no, I cannot. I cannot with you. No ma'am. No ma'am, no ham, no turkey, no bologna. Okay? So, I don't know. I want to hear y'all thoughts in the comments about, if you do watch The Real Housewives of Atlanta, like, what y'all think about everything and how y'all feeling about, you know, things. Like, I really want to know how y'all feeling out there. So, let me know. So, that's the first thing. Another thing is, KERI HILSON, like the whole KERI HILSON and Esther Dean thing. And for those of y'all that don't know KERI HILSON is a R&B singer. She sings my name is KERI, I'm so very, y'all know this song, Pretty Girl Rock, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that one. And then #1 with R. Kelly. She sings a lot of songs. Okay. Now I was wondering, you know, as a kid, like growing up, I was like, what happened to KERI HILSON? You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even know that she was beefing with, or there was one-sided beef, or however it worked or whatever, beef with Beyonce or whatever. I was just like, okay, KERI didn't fell off, you know. She didn't fall off, you know, because the vocals are still there. But it was just like, where is she? You know, I'm not seeing her on the scene when the other girl's coming through, you know. So, you know, I'm like, okay, cool. You know, some artists, they just take a break. But yeah, I was like, I was today years old when I learned it was something going on behind the scenes with her and Beyonce and them. I promise you I didn't know. But anyway, so the whole time, it was because of a verse of a song, and I cannot remember the song name right now. However, breakfast is served. So, however, you ready to eat, baby? Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. You want some sugar? Yes, we eat sugar on our rice, y'all. Sugar on our rice. A little butter on them. Good morning, Fossy. How you doing, girlie? I hope you having a good Friday. Yeah, I really like that much. I'm telling y'all. It's enough out here for you. I know you gotta do that. Nah, they not. Good morning. I know that's right. Finally, girl. You should enjoy your Friday at home, honey. Okay. Oh. I can give it to you. Yes, enjoy your Friday. Sure feel good to be home on Friday and barely doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Abigail. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Be sure to hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Thank y'all so much. No. You want some butter? More butter? Okay. You're welcome. All right, so back to the KERI HILSON of it all. They don't want to give your Friday up. Now for real, yes, that's exactly how things be. Okay, I remember them days. I had this previous job though. It wasn't like that too crazy, but in previous jobs before that, yes. So with KERI HILSON, like I said, you know, there was something going on with her and Beyonce. And like I said, when I looked at the verse, I was like, the verse not even bad, you know, for the reason, well, I don't know how deep their history is, but from what I was reading of the verse of the song that, you know, KERI HILSON and Beyonce fell out, or there was a diss song or whatever, is because she said something along the lines of she worried about she was saying that Beyonce was worried about something. It was something so minute that if you blinked, I know that's right. Yeah, sometimes he did do not respond. For one, it'll be on focus mode. Focus. I can't see you on focus. But I know they're right. I don't blame you. Not my, not my circus. Not my circus. Not my circus. So, um, the whole thing ultimately led to KERI coming out, KERI HILSON coming out, and no, the whole thing, yeah, KERI HILSON was on a podcast and she was talking about, you know, her career, and she was saying how, I think the podcaster was asking her, well, what's one thing that, you want to speak on, or I can't remember exactly what was said, but something to along the lines where she felt like she needed to explain, like she regretted she regretted writing the verse of the song or whatever. And I could tell that she was very sincere in what she was saying, because I don't know, it's just something about KERI's aura now. It's just giving very much grown woman. Like, I make time for what I make time for. I'm growing, I'm learning from situations, and I don't, you know, exactly. It's definitely enough money for everybody. I agree. But I do see her a change in her. Like, it's a whole shift in her aura, in her being. You know what I'm saying? So she was talking about it, and she was saying how, that verse changed her life, and how it was the downfall of her career or whatever. And so Esther Dean, who's a um, lyricist, a great lyricist, that's what I call her. She came out and she was saying that, somebody under the clip of KERI in her interview was like, I already know Esther Dean wrote these, and Esther Dean replied, and she was like, indeed, it was a hit. And I don't think she even realized in that moment what she had said and how it could affect KERI and how people would read that, because they were looking at her like, you the reason why this woman, we ain't seen this woman on the block, and she pretty much got blackballed from Hollywood and making music because you wrote that verse. And KERI was saying that, she was taking all the heat on herself, and she was like, it ain't even about you and I. It's way deeper than this. She was like, but since we speaking on it, you did let me take the brunt of things and didn't come out until now, until we talking about it now. So pretty much she like, I'm still giving you grace in so many words, but she like, I just don't understand. I could read into it. I was thinking that KERI was saying, I don't understand your motive now, which I would have been looking like, why would you even, girl, you didn't see me struggle, not even struggle, but just have obstacles in this music industry for all this time, and now you want to speak up, and what you said didn't even hit girl, boo. So, my thoughts on that whole thing. Let me pray. Man. So, my whole thoughts on it is, I wish that it could have been a better, like, they could have resolved this a long time ago, because ultimately it is, you know, it's old news, but also too, there's still some hurt feelings, and if they can just sit down and talk it out and get some resolve, I feel like that definitely will help the situation. But we all know how the game goes, you know what I'm saying? Like, we know how it go. Yeah, let me set this right here. So yeah, y'all. Yeah, I don't know. I just like, let me speak on this, because I feel like it's a bigger message that could have been sent around this. And I am with some of the people that's like, that could have been done in public. I mean, that could have been done in private. But it didn't happen that way, so we talking about it now. So, the last thing I want to talk about. Okay, I gotta turn this light off. Well, actually, let's turn it down. This light is crazy. It's crazy work. Y'all see me okay? Yeah. I don't know. But anywho, the last thing that I want to talk about is these doggone tariffs. 145% tariffs on China. Why? Why? Somebody let me know why. Because I'm trying to understand. I don't get it. And his whole reasoning, the orange man, that most of y'all voted for, they want sympathy. Hey. Now y'all want sympathy. I have none. Zero. Zero. For you. Because you know how people just go out their way to be spiteful. Spiteful to others. But it hits different when a whole party comes together to be spiteful against other races, going against government policy, chaotically storming the White House. It takes some evil people to do that. So, sympathy you want? None here. Now you got tariffs. Now you got more of everybody coming out saying, hey, I'm losing my job. I can't afford this. I can't afford that. I don't know what's going to happen with my income in the next few months because of the tariffs. You have people now, no, that part, Foxy. I like that. Well, that's exactly what we need to do. What Foxy said in the comment. However, then, let's go back to this party. You take away DEI. You try to strip away. For one, you brought back blatant racism. Like growing up in Mississippi, we saw it we see racism. Like it's nothing new. You wake up, when people be like, I never experienced that. We like, girl, come to the country in the hood. Come on down there to them small towns. We'll show you. We can show you. You know what I'm saying? Hit different. But you blatantly take these away. You agree with the party. You was all in. Make America. You want sympathy now? I don't know. God is working on me. He's working. Now, exactly. Using minority-owned services, definitely. Most businesses during COVID got all of that black grant money. Let's be inclusive. Let's stay inclusive. It was all this. I just. However, I am in the favor of starting your own business. You know what I'm saying? However, some people don't know where to start. So, you know, and some people didn't go to, you know, certain schools or even have the intellectual capacity to understand where to start. Like, they just don't have that. And let's think about education since we're on that topic. Dismantling the education department? What? What service does that do? What does that mean? Where? And then to the funding. I was watching Jasmine Crockett. Superb representative of the Democratic Party. You hear me? Don't y'all know that Orange Man then spent $26 million on golfing? What's up? 26 million on golfing? What? You know. But again, I'm just here to bring you all up to speed. See how you all feel about these certain topics, because things are happening, you know what I'm saying? And two, I would like to put a spin on things and see how, when these things happen, how y'all handle them, or what y'all really feel about them, like for real. So I'm gonna get off of here. I've enjoyed my breakfast. Exactly what you said, Foxy. Definitely. And then charge your arm and leg for education. It's just like, bruh, people go viral every day, and it's just like, sometimes I do think, like, bruh, was it all worth it? But it was. Exactly. That's crazy. It's crazy. I always want to. We can never be emulated, duplicated. So just hang it up, you know? But to bring segregation back, yeah. And let's speak on this war that ain't nobody talking about. A few weeks ago, the man in the office, they were saying there were some leaked text messages about a war being started by him. Did y'all see that? A war being started? We already see the tariff war. But you notice how he got into his non-conducive speech on CNN. I think it was CNN. Could be wrong. And deflected the whole time. They like, what's up with these text messages that you and your party was talking about the war, like the United States finna go to war, like what's going on? He didn't want to talk about that. The people need to know the truth. And in this season, it's all about truth. It's all about truth. It will be revealed. Y'all make sure that y'all stay prayed up. Y'all stay safe, because things are happening. And again, when they happen, how do you feel, and how do you even fathom or wrap your head around these certain things and certain topics, you know? Again, this was a great breakfast and morning chat with y'all. Like, I really enjoyed y'all. I am really appreciating all 1.54K of you all. Your girl is officially at 2,400 watch hours. Burr, 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 burr. And I'm so excited about that because I will be at 3,000 before I know it. And then when we hit that 4,000, your girl gonna be monetized. So I'm praying I'm monetized in the next 2 months. Thank you so much, Foxy. So next 2 months, your girl gonna be monetized. I'll be back on here shortly because I need to get some content in, and above all, I need to continue to practice. I got some good feedback on my nails, surprisingly, because y'all know the other day when I did them on live, I was like, I don't know, like, because one nail, hold on, let me turn it. One nail is like spaced, and then the other one is like close. But don't get me wrong, I like the chrome. I like the chrome. I like the purple. You know, it's giving. It's giving Easter. It's giving spring is here. The flowers have bloomed. Come with me, boo. Yes, that's what it's giving. Okay. So yeah, that's why I'm at with things. So yeah, I got some more content that I'm gonna do. But I really had a good breakfast with y'all. It seems like this is style. Yeah, individual nail looks different. Yeah, I guess that is the style because I wasn't going for that. I wanted them to look the same, but it's growing on me. It's growing on me. I still need to work with the chrome, if I'm being honest, because I didn't use the black polish on bottom this time. But I've seen like different tutorials where some people use the black, some people don't. Like they just go in on the blue. So it's just like I need to find my lane with it. But they are definitely tea. Like they are fire. Like fire and desire. I'm liking them. All right, y'all. So let me go ahead and help my sugar. And then we'll be back to do some nails. I actually have everything set up now. As y'all can see, I have a new light. I'm moving up. Thank y'all so much for supporting me and just being with me and rocking with me from the beginning. For those of y'all that have been rocking with me from the beginning. Because your girl is going up. Like, I should have had this nail lamp, but I caught myself getting me one that was like cute, you know what I'm saying? Like a little basic. But now I didn't, you know, elevate it. Okay? So yeah, I'm still going to continue on now that I'm getting back slowly in the groove of getting my nail content out there. We're going to continue on with the square nails because I do want to continue to honor you all that said that you all like short square nails. So we'll be doing those. And I have 2 different nail sets in mind. My goal and task is to get through 1 full nail set, like press-on nail set, in a live, instead of doing one hand and then another hand, you know, on another live. Like, no, the goal is to just keep it more organized, more nice and succinct, and that way you all can see the finished product on live. Like, if it takes me an hour and a half, that's where my mind space used to be sometimes. Like, dang, I'm doing some press-on nails, it's taking me forever. But honestly, press-on nails, when you are doing them and doing them for you to wear and you want them to look just as good as acrylic nails, it's going to take time. So I had to get out of my own head, and it's not about the quantity. It's always about the quality, which I know that, but also too, it's about giving myself grace and saying, girl, this is a journey. Okay? You ain't just wake up being a pro nail tech. It ain't happen like that. Okay? One day you will be. Pull me up, DT. Pull me up, DT. Because, you know, I will be in Jesus' name. Just like I'm going to be at 100K by next May. Watch it, baby. Clock it. So, yeah. They can't hold me down. They can't hold me. So yeah, I'm coming on back on here in a few minutes. So yeah, new content, new everything. We got time, y'all. We got time, y'all. Them numbers just keep going. Ow! Just so excited. All right, so I'm finna get on up off of here because I keep saying that, and every time I say that, I don't get up off of here. Y'all just be, you know, I be so excited to talk to y'all, but I gotta get up off of here, okay? Because I got things to do for real, okay? And that means bring y'all some content, okay? All right. Now, if y'all don't do nothing else, you make sure you have a good old day, okay? See you later, Father, okay? And something good is about to happen. Something what? I said God is about to take place. I'm out. Peace.